Hey, welcome to our continuation of our Zelda podcast.
And today we're going to talk about Ganondorf, aka the Demon King and also the villain of every Legend of Zelda game. Maybe not in a few. Not in a few.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So what are some things you've learned about him?
Well, Ganondorf, it's just... So his actually demise is hatred, right? But when you do demise hatred, I always think, so demise hatred made Ganondorf revive, aka people think that demise is probably the first ever Demon King, but there's maybe a ability that he's not the first Demon King, right?
Yeah.
But here's something awkward in Tears of the Kingdom, but let's not go there yet.
Okay. So I do not know as much about Ganondorf as you do.
Ganondorf.
Exactly. And so what are some of the games where you've kind of encountered him or have seen different versions of him?
More likely, we don't have all the games, but I have seen the Demon King in barely a few games, aka only Legends of Zelda and Breath of the Wild. So that's it.
So in Breath of the Wild,
In Tears of the Kingdom, it's just that.
in Tears of the Kingdom.
But let's talk about Breath of the Wild. He's Breath of the Wild. Ganondorf is not a human.
Okay.
He's just darkness. Darkness. He's just darkness. I don't get it. Why do they have to do that? Because in the rest of the games, Ganondorf is a human, right? But then
Or like a being or some kind of monster.
Yeah,
right.
but the thing about that, I just don't get it why they had to make him into darkness. But they do turn him into Dark Beast Ganon.
Yes.
Just like in I can't remember the others of them.
I'm not going to lie. I regret not bringing my notes from home today.
What?
Because I had notes on...
You monster!
Well, yeah. In certain games, monsters. Because I had written down all the different times
Ganondorf.
that it's not Ganondorf as the main villain. You know, there's certain games where he's not the main villain. And but sometimes if you go and you research, you also find that those characters or monsters are often versions of Ganondorf.
Can I say this something? Okay, now that I think about it, in Wind Waker, he said the dust of... Since he lived in the Gerudo village, the dust covered his whole village. So I kind of feel bad for Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Yes, I really do.
In certain instances.
Except that he keeps trying to take over Hyrule, but he doesn't because he always gets defeated by Link and all that stuff.
And so, you know, interestingly enough, I believe we meet Ganon, and not in terms of the timeline, but in terms of for the first time in terms of the game history in the first Zelda game. You know, Zelda.
Like the original?
Yeah,
like
the original
very,
for
very,
Nintendo.
very?
Yeah, because you fight Ganon at the end, if I remember correctly.
Yes. But it's not like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's when you do it's just you can keep playing and you still have all the items and you won't restart when you're done as the old games. When you're finished, right?
Yeah. So that's a little bit about us exploring the knowledge of Ganondorf. We have a ways to go, and this is actually a two-part podcast because JoJo wanted to talk about Ganondorf. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And the different forms of him, and I wanted to make sure that we circled back about the timeline.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, we should do this.
Something we have been promising to do this whole podcast.
No, we have not. but we've been thinking. Not promising, but how about this? We should also do Link.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about Link, but Link
Link
is in the timeline, right? Because
he's always in the
we've got the fallen hero, aka Link, right?
Yeah.
We've got the child hero,
Link,
right? And then we have the missing hero,
aka the teenager.
which is Wind Waker.
Missing hero? I thought that was the child one.
Is it Phantom Hourglass?
I thought that was the child.
And then Spirit. Oh man,
Spirited Away. Yeah.
no, not Spirited Away. That's a Ghibli film that Disney put out. And so, what we have found is that there's 19 games, as we've said before. From our recollection or our research on this is that there's two NES games, one SNES game, which the NES games would be Zelda, and then
Okay.
Man, I'm trying. What is it? Say it. It's the second one. I can't remember the name of it. Where it has both. No, on Nintendo, where you can look down, and then when you go into play, it's side-scrolling. I actually used the one game I owned as a kid. I think it's The Adventures of Link.
What? You're kidding me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is, Adventures of Link. And then SNES is Link to the Past.
Nintendo 64.
Well, so for Nintendo, we got Game Boy, and then we have Game Boy Color. Each one has a game. And then N64, as you're mentioning, has Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask. I said that wrong. Majora's Mask. And what's the other?
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, good call.
Even though Ocarina of Time starts in a different way in the time.
Yeah, I see that. That's in the Fallen Hero timeline, and Majora's Mask is in the Child Hero timeline. We're going to have to put some charts up here. Maybe I'll insert some this time around. And then we get over to the GameCube, right?
GameCube, I kind of regret the GameCube. AKA Wind Waker with the Wii and the Wii U.
Right. So we got Wind Waker. And then the other GameCube game is... I'm looking at our chart here.
No.
What's the... Four Swords...
Adventure. Four Swords.
Yeah, I think that's it. I know it says Four Swords.
But it's also...
We should, we should really bring the wall closer to us so I can read this easy.
I can read this easy, actually.
And then we've got the Game Boy Advance, which has two games, the GBA, as we call it. So what GBA games are there? Do you remember?
What's a GBA?
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, we have 3DS, but we also have the Game Boy Advance that came out before it.
Game Boy Advance
and so we've
is
got
AKA
we've got
Four Swords. Actually... Oh, Link to the Past. Link to the Past.
No, Link to the Past is Super Nintendo.
Wait, hold up.
Minish's Cup.
Oh, wait.
It's Game Boy Advance.
Wait, yeah, it's Four
And
Swords.
then and then
Four Swords, and then after Four Swords.
Four Swords. Yeah, that's right.
Then after Four Swords, there's actually. Oh.
And then we've got.
Wait, should I say Link's Awakening?
Then we've got the Nintendo DS, the original DS, and that's going to be. I can't read my own handwriting. Phantom Hourglass. There we go, Joey. And then Spirited Tracks. And then.
I regret this actually, though.
And yes, it is. And then we got the 3DS, which is going to be, is it Triforce Heroes?
Triforce Heroes, I think.
And then also, wow.
It's all in cursive. Why didn't you?
Yeah, I wrote this so far away. There's another one. I can't read my own handwriting. Then we've got the Switch. What's on the Switch? Do you remember?
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and there's not more.
And there's one that's about to come out but hasn't come out yet.
Can I say it though?
Yeah. I don't know the name of it. I can't
I
remember.
think it was like when Zelda's time period.
Right. It's going to be, Zelda's going to be like the center of it.
Yes, instead of Link. But okay, I want to get that.
And then we
Let me
also
get it.
have the Wii, right? So what came out for Wii? I'm trying to remember. Windbreaker. That's the one. There we go.
Do you know how to do all this for
So
story? And
then we had one, at least one game that's not considered canon, but was 100 years before.
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and also a sad story where Link actually falls, and you guys may have known if you had the game.
Yeah. So we've been having a lot of fun going through and just learning about Zelda and the lore behind it. This summer, I guess this is kind of, we're about 2 months into this journey of learning about Zelda, going through the books. And we've got one thing we know is that there's always more to learn, right?
Always. Now gonna think about it. We're gonna have to put okay. We need to do something about this. I'm gonna say this, but we need to, since Legend of Zelda games are coming out so fast, we may or not gonna have to do more episodes or not.
Yes.
Because
so we the next episode, I think we'll focus on Link, like you said, and kind of talk about
how
young Link,
changes.
teen Link, and then I guess older Link. I'll
Teen.
have to look into that.
Older Link
Yeah.
kind of seems inappropriate.
Yeah, I'm
though.
like on the edge of that one because it's pretty much young Link and teen Link.
Yeah.
And then maybe also talk a bit about Zelda. And so
Now that I think about it,
yeah.
Zelda is most likely the hero in Age of Calamity. She doesn't believe that she could get her powers, but she does like a few more days when the Calamity comes up. I think. I don't know.
So yeah. So we have one last thing to show real quick. I don't think we showed that you were going to earn this, but you actually got it. You earned it.
Yes.
What'd you do?
So I noticed inside of it, there's more than one. It's like pockets, but there's ancient writings. Can you see the ancient writing?
Yeah, it's got ancient writings in it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but we're hoping you can. And it's got room for pretty much everything you need to get around, and it's been really useful. I didn't know how it would hold up, and so far we've taken it on some road trips and all kinds of stuff, and it's done really well. So and he mowed the yard and did some stuff to help other people.
I was getting bitten alive.
He was getting bitten alive by mosquitoes. The things he did. So thank you all so much for watching.
Wait, Dad, we still have. This can't end. We're not done with Ganondorf.
What else did you have to add?
Ganondorf is Demise hatred, and in Tears of the Kingdom, Ganondorf is like, he returns as AK. Okay, here's one thing that I think is weird. 10,000 years back, Ganondorf is the real guy, and when Hyrule's first found. But now that I think about it, I feel like Ganondorf is just like King Roru said. He knows that every 100 years. And I think that's like a metaphor, and like, I don't think it was made by Demise. I'm serious. I don't think it was made by Demise. Maybe the Garuda was still alive when I was first found and wasn't found yet. But maybe the Garuda, they just, like, someone made a prophecy and did it. Like you know, not Elden Ring, but Acolyte, how they're these witches. I think it's the same thing like that.
Okay.
I'm saying that it's just.
I'm gonna take your word on this last part, because man, you went 110% in there. I didn't know everything you were talking about. You lost me for a little bit there, but I know you've been playing a lot and you've been reading up a lot on the characters. So So yeah, so why don't we end there and then we'll talk about Link next time.
Link will fall soon. Really fall. Like fall.
But we'll pick him up.
Probably no.
Because that's the player's job.
I'm going to say this, but probably Link. When does Link die? I'm serious. When does he die?
He's never going to die. Don't talk like that. I don't want Link to die.
How are we going to
The only reason he should...
don't care if
The
Nintendo...
only reason he should pass away is if Zelda's like there, like having to take over.
Zelda passed away. Actually,
I know.
Actually, people think... Okay, I'm going to say this, but... Zelda's not dead in Breath of the Wild. It turns out she's alive. She just in her power keeping Calamity Ganon in from not spreading from across the world.
This is not a spoiler safe space, huh?
No.
All right. Well, before we give any more out, we hope you all have a good day and we'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't ask how many more questions I have.
Because he has 1,000.
Bye. Bye, video.